Hi, it's me again, and surprise, surprise. Today I'm able to do another journal with me because tomorrow is a public holiday. We get 2 days off. So here I'm showing you yesterday's journal with me. And this was for the 3rd. And now I'm going to set up the 4th. And today is going to be a bit different because I have some new goodies which I wanted to use. And you can see the challenges that I face in a while. But before I start, I want to show you this lovely, gorgeous, handmade TN insert from Miss Fish, Anyi. And Anyi is one of my favorite ever sellers, so I got a lot of things from her, and I especially love her handmade TNs. And of course, the usual her, she will include lots of goodies when you buy things from her. These are all freebies, and I love her freebies because they are vintage ephemeras and tickets, which are my favorite. And I love her insert as well because there are lots of variety of paper, and in between her insert you can find hidden treasures like this one. And just now I saw another bunch. Here we go. So yeah, and she's a very nice, not only nice, I mean she is an easygoing seller that I really love buying things from her. And I think these are all freebies. I bought so many things for her that sometimes I can't remember what did I actually ordered. So yeah, but I know she gave tons of freebies when you buy things from her. So let's start. First up, I wanted to use this ta-da die cuts. Now I do not use die cuts before because I do not have the die cut machine, and to me it's very expensive to buy one. I think if you want to buy in Malaysia, it costs you around 500 to 600, the C6 die cut machine. But then I found out that Holtz has this Sidekick, and it's so adorable and so cute. So I decided to try out die cutting with this Holtz alteration, I think Sidekick starter kit, something like that. And the first one I'm gonna use is this flower and jar die cuts, which I have the stem as well. Now after this, I noticed that it is actually better to stem first rather than to have it die cut out because these die cuts are too small, and as you can see, I'm showing you the markings on my cutting plate. At first I thought I did something wrong. I didn't know that there would be markings on it after you pass through the machine. But anywho, I learned that it's normal. So I'm putting this ivory colored paper to get some vintage feel out of it. Now, like I was saying, I think it's better to stem first than to do the die cut first, because this die cuts, the floral and jar, the jar is still okay, but the florals, the flowers and leaves, they are too intricate and too, yeah, I would say intricate to stem on later on. And of course, maybe I think the paper I use has some effect as well, because this is normal thin paper, A4 paper, so the paper will move around a lot after I put it through the die cutting machine. So I can't actually measure or find stem precisely on the die cut itself. So I think for this die cuts, this floral and mason jar die cuts, is better if you stem it first. So you can arrange your die on the stem out image and have it cut precisely. Yeah. Later you'll see what I mean. So I did the rest of the die cutting off camera because it will take a very long time if I film it or film everything that I do. This is the first time, my first ever time really, to use this die cutting machine. I did try out a few just to test it that it was okay, else I will need to return it. So, but to actually use it, this is my first time. So if I'm doing anything wrong, please let me know. So here I'm taking out the stems. Now I'm sure a lot of people knew, but just in case, the stem and the die cuts are sold separately. Because I saw, sometimes I read through the comments before I buy things, and I found quite a few comments sometimes that said they're surprised that the die cuts does not come with the stem. But when I read the description, they actually mention quite clearly that the die cuts are sold separately from the stem. So here I'm putting down the ink for the jar, and if you can hear the firecrackers behind in the background, so sorry about that, because I said tomorrow is a public holiday here in Malaysia. It's one of our biggest festival here, so people tend to celebrate nearer to the midnight, and they will put on firecrackers and things like that. So yeah, and here, as you can see, I cannot actually stamp it on the paper. I have to do it the other way around, to put the paper on the stem and then make sure it stick down first, and then I turn over and press it down. So the jar turns out pretty good. It was still okay. The rest I did off camera, so you didn't see my struggle for those very intricate floral and leaves. And here I'm going to take out my X-Acto knife, my scissors. I want to put the flower in the jar, so I want to cut some holes or slits, so as if the flower is coming out from the jar. And because the way the stem is, the jar is supposed to be transparent, so I can't stick the flower at the back of the jar. So you have to be able to see the flower. That's why I'm cutting some slits to put the flower through. And that also is a challenge. Anywho, I really love the process of this, because on the way I learn new methods. Rather than, it's always the same washi, stamping, collage of vintage paper and things like that. So I love to try something new once in a while. And here I'm just putting the flower through, and I did the rest off camera, else it's going to take way too long. So I actually like how it turns out. And there are a few more bits and pieces which I'm going to stick it down individually. So here I'm going to try to find a background, and I decided to use this classic-y card, which is green for the lines. So because there are leaves and florals, so I wanted to use the green one. And here I look at my mini calendar. The font is black in color, and I think black color goes with everything, so I decided that I wanted to use it. If it doesn't match, I thought of just stamping it out, but since it's black, it's okay. And here I'm gonna, at first I want to put a calendar on the card, but I felt that with the lines visible, it looks better. So I'm gonna put down the card. Now I think you see that my camera sort of changed a bit, the angle of my camera changed, because this mini studio is, I would like to say bluntly, is a cheap one. So it could not stand my camera on top, is really coming down, so I have to get my tripod and film it from a different angle. But I think it turns out okay, I guess. So here I was trying to put some background behind the card, but then I felt that it goes better directly on my insert without any background. So that's what I've decided, and I will put things down. And here comes my favorite glue tape. Yep. So today's spread is actually a huge trial and error spread. Really, I've never done this before. I didn't know how it will turn out. So yeah, but I love the experience of this. I mean, like the unknown, and really forced me to put effort in being creative, to think out ways of putting things together, to force me outside of my comfort zone. Well, it's just, updating a spread, so it's nothing too serious, but then, it helps me to really use my mind, if you know what I mean. My left brain, I guess, the creativity part. Now, putting this down is still okay, but putting glue on the flower and the leaves is a challenge. I have to use the liquid glue, else the glue stick will definitely tear my flowers apart. So I have to use the liquid one so that it can stick down properly. The jar was still okay because the jar has a bigger space. I mean, it is not that intricate, so I can still put on glue easily. But the flower is really a challenge for me. So next up, I wanted to stick down the other bits. I first want to use this blue glassine paper as a background, but then I think it didn't go. It doesn't look cohesive at all. So I decided to use something green. I decided to use the washi. At first I wanted to use either the light green or that flowery pattern green, and I felt the light green does not stand out that much, so I changed it to a dark green washi. So I felt that it looks better. But then after I put down the washi and I look at it again, I felt that it does not go very well with the whole spread, because on the left side it felt like it's green, but then it has a lot of white space. So the darker green sort of having a too bold of a feeling for me, so I decided to use the grit washi in green instead. So I think it goes better with the rest of the spread. Just now that washi was too short, so I decided to tear out another piece. And I think this works better. Yep. Now the next challenge is putting the glue down for this piece of floral die cut. I did use this liquid glue, but then I shouldn't have put it down on a piece of paper because it was stuck on the paper. So I have to work fast. But even though I have tried to put down my glue fast, but as you can see, I've torn the bottom part of this die cut. So at first I thought I do not want to use it anymore, but the top part is still going to work, so I continue putting the glue, but on my hand instead. Anyone have any suggestion how am I supposed to glue this now? Or should I use a sturdier paper, like a cardstock, I think? Any ideas do let me know. I really appreciate it. Because this, even though this video is like only 22 minutes, but I think I worked on it for like 2 hours because of this challenge that I have. And here I done the top part as well, but then it's okay, you can't really tell. So I'm just gonna leave it as that and let the glue dry. Next, I wanted to put down that date, that calendar, and I tried a few places and I really wanted to use this leaf, but then I put it on that card and I think it looks great. So the other leaves I really did not know where I wanted to put, so I decided, okay, that's it. But then I think I wanted to put in some background, so I'm using this dilution new stencil. Again, it's very new, first time opening the package. Now this has 4 patterns in it, and it's sort of folded up in a way that you can actually slot into your travel's notebook to take it along, which I think is extremely convenient. But since I always journal at home, I do not have to slot it into my TN. And I wanted to use this flower pattern as my background. At first, I thought of using 2 colors, the pink and the green. But then I'm not good at coloring. I don't know whether the pink and the green will match or will go together. So I thought, well, I will start with the green first at the outer layer and maybe slowly change it to pink. But then after I put down the green, I felt that it turns out pretty good just with the green, so I didn't use the pink. At first I thought its floral pattern should be pink at least, but then it turns out okay with the green. There we go. So I think it's quite pretty. And here I'm just going to put down the date there using my glue tape. You can see that even though this round my elements are not much, just cards, a bit of washi and some die cuts, but it took me lots and lots of time to get it done. But I really enjoy doing this. I think it's awesome. It really helps me to release my stress in a way. Yep. And then I'm gonna put down one of the leaves on the card. So once I have the leaves on the card, I do not want to put another leaves on the calendar. So I decided to put it on the right page. And I want to put a girl sticker. I'm deciding between the two, even though the girl with the green dress goes with the theme or the color, but I felt that the white dress girl somehow pops more since she has a different color. Her dress color are different from the theme of this spread. So sometimes if you have too many greens, it doesn't pop out. So instead, try another color, neutral color that goes with everything. So she's wearing white and blue and her hair is green, so I think it goes really well. I'm going to put down another piece of green grit washi, classic, and then as background, and then the leaves will go there. And then since I have my distress ink out, I will distress the side of my page with the same green color. So I'm really happy that I can do this journal with me today, since I'm not working tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow I can do another journal with me, since I'm not working on day after as well. Yay! 2 days of holiday. Much needed holiday for myself. I was so busy last 2 weeks. Yeah. And then I wanted to try new style of setting up my journal as well. I think tomorrow I might want to try dilution style, or perhaps not, maybe back to the old vintage style. I do not know. We'll see tomorrow whether I have the vintage inspiration or I have a more dilution bold color inspiration. We'll see tomorrow. So here it is. What else did I do? I think that's it. So I will need to wait for the glue to dry up, else if I close my insert now, the two pages were stuck together. Oh yeah, I wanted to do some outline on my calendar because the background is white, so you can't actually see the frame. I'm using my Pigma Micron 08 to draw out the sort of like a hand-drawn frame. The 08 is a very thick nib. And that will be it. So hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow again. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all your comments and your likes, and yeah, this really gives me the motivation to do more journal with me. So thank you guys, and hope to see you guys tomorrow, else I'll see you guys soon. Please do let me know if I did anything wrong with the die cut, or any suggestion on how I should glue them down. Really, thank you very much. See you guys. Bye bye.